Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Pre-Market Update. Hope we all had a great weekend. We'll start with S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell, and then we'll review crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we will review all the commodities and the FANG stocks. Please hit the like button, guys. Only takes 1 second to hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. You can see mostly everything is green today. Futures are pumping. S&P 500 is up almost 0.8%. US 500 is up 0.9%. Nasdaq is up 1.2%. Triple Q is up more than 1%. So where we go from here, this is a chart which keeps us honest. So I think we can still go high, hit this pretty much the top here around 6,300. That can happen probably by spring this year. So from where we are right now, it's going higher. So you can see the target here is around 5%. So yeah, definitely that is a possibility. You can see here time and time again we try to touch this red line. We come very close to touching this red line. That happens. And then also in the other side, we can go below this 54.48 right now. We can go into this zone as well. So again, look to buy. I will be looking to buy in this green zone. I will let it do its own thing. Looks like market wants to go higher first. And whenever it's here, that could set up as a good shot. And usually 80% of the time in the inaugural new president year, market is up all the time. So, okay, so just keep that in mind. Pump is there, and people are taking advantage of that. All right, so again, let's go to daily chart and side by side. One thing to note, you can see here on S&P 500, very overbought on this day trading chart on the left side. Whenever we are in this red zone, we want to sell. All right, so you can see we were in the green zone here. This was on Thursday, and from there, since then, we are like pumped now almost 3% on S&P 500. So you can see here how it's easy to predict, and now you don't want to be buying here because we are opening on a gap up. Let me show you on SPY how this gap looks like. Okay, so this is SPX. Let me show you on SPY first. Here you go. You can see we opened on a gap up, green line here, and now today also we're opening on a massive gap up. Okay, so keep that in mind. The reason we are going high looks like we want to go and fill this gap at 601, and that gap, top gap on SPX is around 6036, and this is cycle analysis. And you can see I was expecting a cycle higher. You can see a pump higher I was expecting because we are in this rising phase, and we had this green bar already there. So it looks like now they want to go and fill this top gap, which is around 6036. So that's where it's heading, and then they could come back later at a later stage. So today's will be opening on a gap up. That could be possible that as after market open they can bring this market down to fill this gap and then go higher. All right, so just keep that in mind. Um, they can go open the market, fill this gap, and then go higher again. So just keep that in note in case you want to be super bullish. Just wait for this gap fill. If not, they will just still go fill this gap and come back later at filling these green gaps. Okay, so on NDX, there's also a gap. You can see yesterday also opened a gap up. Triple Q is also opening on a big gap up above this white line, which is 20 moving average. Another gap up opening. So again, these green lines, they're like a lot of chop going on around, and probably they're going to keep chopping and maybe slightly go higher. But just keep that in mind. These green lines are our guides, and this election gap is still not filled. This SPX election gap. You can see they made a new low on SPX, but they still did not fill this gap. Okay, so they're just trying to trick everybody. Everybody's thinking this gap will fill. They will come bring it very close to it and then go higher. So that's what they're doing. On US 100, you can see on our day trading chart, same story here. You can see here came to the buy zone here on Thursday, and from here we pumped where we are right now, almost 4% pump. And this is not the area you want to be buying. Okay, you want to wait for it to go back to green zone. And by the way, you guys, if you want to know more about this zone, click on the join button in the description of this video, and I share these levels with my subscribers every hour, and you know where to buy, where to sell. You can use this indicator to even buy other stocks, other tech stocks you like. So let me know, click on it, and if you have any question, put a comment in this video. Okay, so go back to this daily chart. You can see Nasdaq is going higher. Now, it's still a lower high. If it breaks above this 21,870, that's going to be higher high. US 500 still this could be a lower high, so it's right in front of this 20 moving average. So just keep that in mind. That's where it is heading. We'll see. Today's session is very important. Let's see if it's gonna go higher, make a new high, or it gets rejected and then go lower. So anything is possible. Dow Jones again, really weak compared to other, mainly because of UNH. And today UNH pre-market is up 0.19%, but this is the culprit. And then Russell also in front of massive resistance here, although it made a new high. In this futures are making a new high, so that's very good news on Russell. Dow Jones, you can see gaps. There's a gap around 433. They're trying to fill that. IWM, there are couple of gaps on the top. They could rally the market all the way up, but today also opening on a gap up, they could bring it down to fill that gap, like I said on other indices. Okay, so let's go to crypto, Bitcoin. Okay, so came to this buy zone. You can see crypto was in this yellow box buy zone, and now above all moving averages, slowly grinding away. BTC chart. If I go to 1 hour chart, is there any gap? Did not create any gap. You can see futures open on let's see where is Sunday. You can see open here, Friday closed, and Sunday here it opened. Sorry, yeah, here you go. Somewhere here it opened, so it's still no gap here, and Ethereum also no gap, so that's good news. So let's go to daily chart on CME futures. Bitcoin is above all moving averages, which is good, but still if it rejects below here, could be a lower high. Okay, so let's see if Bitcoin can go. It's an equal high right now. This could be a double top and go lower. Let's see if Bitcoin can close up this previous high around 99,856. Let's say around 100K. A close above that will be a change in trend. So that's what bulls will be hoping. But just keep that in mind. There is also a gap around here, around 94, 485. So that also needed to be filled. So there are no gaps to the top side. There are multiple gaps. Next gap is around 77K. If S&P 500 is going to pump, this is also going to pump to probably more than 100K, and then it will come back later uh, in summer this year to go back down. So just keep that in mind. Let's go to commodities. Crude oil looking very bullish. Crude oil is going to fill this gap around 75,139, 75.39. This gap is open like a while ago. You can see here, okay, this gap futures open this day on 13th of October, gap down, you can see. So that's what they're doing. They're going to go and then fill this gap. That's what they're trying to do here. Um, yeah, trying to go and fill this gap. And yeah, it's this gap is from where we are right now is uh, only 1% away. So getting a 8 count sell signal here right now. But this is where there's going to be also this 200 moving average blue line and could face resistance. CNQ, one of the largest Canadian oil miner, pumped a lot basically since the bottom here looks like. So since the bottom, it's up almost 8%. Still looking for these gaps, okay? So still quite a few targets here. Next target looking for this 33.19 gap fill, and that could be a nice resistance here. You can see before it was support, and here it just gapped down and broke down. All right, so probably going to touch this gap, fill this gap, and then probably make a next decision. So from where it closed on Friday to this gap fill is around 5% away. So just keep that in mind. XLE, same thing here. All these yellow lines are gaps. Also, there's a green line here. So I just want to be careful, even on CNQ, if they could bring it back down, fill this gap, and then go higher later. Okay. XLE, same thing. They could fill this gap and then go higher, or they can go straight up. We'll see how it goes. All depends on oil. Toronto Stock Exchange also probably going to pump today because oil market is high. So the gap is around 25,645. Hang Seng Index China is pumping, but also there's a gap here which is not filled around 19,643. Then there are also two gaps here around 18K. Bond market also made a new low here, and there's some divergence, new low and divergence. So let's see if they're gonna go higher, but still very weak. There's not a lot of movement, and we have to wait for new data. It's looking very weak right now. Natural gas pumping, um, still a low, high, low, and it really needs to make a new high. Okay, so you can see here this low is still valid. So let's see if it can go higher. Gold market, just in the middle consolidation below all moving averages, mainly red and yellow line. Um, to be honest, I think gold should go around 2400. That's when I will be buying. Silver is looking a bit stronger, pumping in front of some resistances here. We'll see how that thing shapes up. Also, copper, you can see massive bounce from the support area. Sugar also kind of holding in the support area. Wheat is also in the support area. Also came to this white line, which is a trend line, and now bouncing from here. All right, and corn is also holding above all moving averages. Dollar is a bit weaker. Wow, dollar. So barely stock market is pumping because dollar is getting a little weaker, but dollar is going to come to support. It can still go lower, but this is a nice support here around 106. So that's why I think Bitcoin and stock market is pumping because it's a weaker dollar. In terms of FANG stock, Apple, I think it's going to go a little lower. There's around 233 gap. Probably they're going to bring it back down here at some point. From where it is right now, Apple, where it closed on Friday, looking for around 4% dump at some point. So it could doesn't need to really go straight down, can bounce a bit and then come back lower. Other than that, NVDA had a breakout going for a new high. There's a 150 call by March, one of the big bulls. Dark pool data is showing, so probably they're going to go hit that. And Tesla also looking very bullish. But again, this could be trying to fill this gap around 429 before it goes low to fill some of these other gaps. So it's just manipulation in my point of view. AMD also big gap up, probably going towards filling this gap around 138 before the earnings. And other than that, I don't see anything interesting. Microsoft had a massive downwards move, now trying to fill some of this above gap, opening on a gap fill around 429, then probably could head around 438, but still there are more gaps to the downside to fill. Other than that, I don't see anything interesting. Everything is like near all-time high, so I'm gonna kind of skip it right now. What else is here? Let's see if there's anything else. This WCN is also good. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I don't see any divergence, so I want to see a pump and then go lower. And same thing with UNH. Want to see make a new low to 472. May not get it, but that will be great if we can get it a new low, and then we'll see some divergences. But who knows? If bottom is already in, time will tell. Okay, guys, and then Wix. Wix had to fill some of this gap, so it filled this gap, so that's good. You can delete it, and there are other gaps. So if Wix goes lower, then more gaps are filling. But remember, this gap around 27 is also there to be filled. So they could make it pump higher to fill this gap and then go lower, or they can drop it. So we'll have to keep an eye and see where it goes. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Hopefully, you learned a lot and hit the like button on your way out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.